Back to week 14 of London Marathon training. We're going to Amsterdam. So Henry has a work conference there. I'm tagging along like I did with Lisbon. I'll have a few runs there. It's going to be pretty similar to London. We're not really there that long either. We're going to stay until Thursday afternoon. So it's truly just like Tuesday, Wednesday, half a day on Thursday, and then we're back in London. Long run this week I think is like 14 miles, so we're tapering. The race is like 2 weeks away, which is really fucking crazy to say out loud. Ready for the long runs to be done. Last long run was 18 miles, and I'm just like done with the long distance, but still excited for the marathon. Let's go to Amsterdam. Made it to Amsterdam last night. It's about noon right now. I got breakfast with Henry in the morning and went on like a 6.5 mile run, so I got to see a good bit of the city. I have been to Amsterdam once before when I was like 18 years old with family. To the Anne Frank house and to the Moco Museum. As we landed at the airport and I was kind of walking around, I started to get all these like weird flashbacks, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember being at this airport. I remember taking a train to Berlin. I remember being here with my dad and like obviously my whole family. So it's weird. I have no agenda. Henry's off to his work conference, so I'm gonna go to some vintage shops that you guys recommended, have another run tomorrow. Let's enjoy Amsterdam together. Okay, hi, it's like 3 o'clock. I did some vintage shopping in the morning. I had a lot of restraint. There were a lot of pieces that I liked, but I was like, you don't need to be spending that much money. I did get one skirt. I got this vintage like Dolce & Gabbana skirt. The one thing that I was like, okay, you need skirts that fit you and that are long enough where your butt cheeks are not out of your skirt. Tall girl problems. So I got that, and then I just had lunch at this salad place called Slaw. Admittedly, I filmed like most of the day on my phone. I'll show you guys like the rest of the days on this camera. Okay, hi, it's nighttime now. I was just walking along the canal and trying to find a bench. Actually, there's not that many benches in Amsterdam, like along the canal. So I was walking for like 30 minutes. I finally found a bench here, and I go to sit down and I look at this trash can that's right next to it, and tell me why my dad's name, Mike, is right there. And I don't know. I just posted this on the internet. Of course, I got a hate comment of like, stop trying to cope. Like, that's crazy. Like, nah. Okay, sorry, my dad died and I'm trying to like continue living, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I just blocked those people. But anyway, it's a lot to me, and like, you know, stupid comments like can't take that away from me. So whatever. But I'm going to go, I think, have dinner in the hotel because I'm not really feeling like spending money. So I'm just going to go to a grocery store, have a little girl dinner. But yeah, it was a cute day in Amsterdam, and I think tomorrow I'm going to do a lot of the same. I have another run. Maybe go to a museum. I want to get something with Miffy on it, so TBD on that. All right, day 2 in Amsterdam, and we're gonna go to the Miffy store. I did see some Miffy at this department store called Hema yesterday, H-E-M-A, but this store is like only Miffy, so I figured let's go there first. We've made it to the Miffy store. Too paralyzed and I couldn't decide which Miffy to get. I'm gonna go back to the store on my walk home to our hotel, but there were too many options, too many colors. I couldn't decide. So going back later, but we're gonna hit up some more vintage shops. Then, I don't know, it's kind of weird. We're here till like tomorrow at like noon. This is the Miffy that I decided on. I had like such bad paralysis when I was in the store because there's so many different colors, but it's a little like rosy, I don't know, rosy cute Miffy, I guess. Some of them were like a corduroy, but I like the fuzzy one more. It's Thursday, April 10th, and it's our last day in Amsterdam. We're only here for a few days, as I mentioned in this vlog, so it's been a lot of fun. I really like it here. Biking, the city's pretty small, which is nice because I feel like London is just like massive. We haven't been able to like explore the whole city. Got dinner last night, a rib burger, fries, chocolate chip cookie. It was excellent, and then this morning we just got a pastry. I'm out going to a little gift shop because I want to get some more souvenirs and just kind of look around. Henry and I were reflecting when we got coffee this morning. We were just saying like how lucky we are to be able to travel when we're like 26 years old. London chapter of us being in Europe and traveling a bunch is going to be something we look back on when we're older and be like, wow, that was such a special, precious time. I didn't get to do any of the museums. We were planning to go to this tulip garden, but it's like, I think an hour outside of the city, and we just didn't like have time for it because our flight's kind of early today. But I'd also love to bike if we ever come back. We didn't get a bike around, and as you can see, everyone's biking, and I love to bike. Really enjoyed it here. I mean, it makes sense. I really love my experience in Copenhagen, so it makes sense that I would love Amsterdam as well. back in London. Hi everyone, I have a 15-mile run today. It's a Friday. We got back from Amsterdam yesterday. The flight was like an hour, so it was really manageable, but this is gonna be my last long run that's like long, in my opinion, before I run the London Marathon. Next weekend, I think I have 10 miles, and then the next weekend is the fucking marathon. Part of me is like, holy shit, it's coming up so fast. I'm really nervous. I'm anxious. I don't know if I can do a marathon distance. Like, what am I gonna do for timing? All of the kind of anxiety things are kicking in. The other part of me is like, bitch, you've been training for so fucking long. I want it to be marathon day so badly and just get this race done with. Not get it done with and like, I don't want to do it, but just like, I need the race to be here because I've been doing a lot of training, and every time I have doubt, I just remember like, you have been putting in the work with mileage, you've been lifting, you've been resting, you've been recovering, and I've put a lot of effort into this training block. A lot of variables on race day that kind of can make it go not according to plan, you know, weather, stomach, sleep, digestion. Things can kind of put a wrench in how you think the race is gonna go, but if you do all the prep and the running and stuff, you should be in good hands for the race day. So I'm just trying to remind myself that I've done the work and that is enough, that is more than enough. Running is another thing where I feel like I've lost confidence on, though I have been running and getting stronger and getting faster. I had a run in Amsterdam that had a 2-mile like speed work in it, and I ended up PRing it. I got like my second fastest time in a 2-mile block. Very unexpected, didn't know my body could do that. These ideas about my body and how I look and how I feel, it's nonsense that I've been trying to quash before the race, and getting that 2-mile like PR time was something that really helped me believe that like, you're in good hands, you're doing the work, and you are getting towards where you want to be. I have some stroop waffles in here from Amsterdam as my fuel. It's about 60 degrees in London, so I need to get used to running with the heat. Let's go crush this 15-mile run. We're off to a 5K with Free People movement. We're over here in Notting Hill, and I'm really excited to meet some other girlies, to get excited for the marathon. I had my 15-mile run yesterday, which went pretty well. It was like 65 degrees here, Fahrenheit. Sorry, I'm still on Fahrenheit. So it was really hot. I think my body wasn't like heat adapted, but I have to get heat adapted because that's probably gonna be the temperature on race day. And I just kind of lounged around. Heather and I walked through the park, got some ice cream, got some burgers. I've been eating whatever I want, and it feels good to be back in London and have our routine back. Got 2 new plants today. Have to figure out where to put them. Sunday afternoon. I went to the gym and lifted, and we are 14 days away from running the London Marathon. Henry and I were having a picnic in the park yesterday, and I stood up after we were having our little picnic, and I could not put like any weight on my left leg. It feels a little bit better today. I was icing it, I was doing like cupping on it, I was foam rolling it, I was massaging it with like a CBD oil. Went to the gym today, did a lot of mobility and like upper body stuff. So hopefully it's just like a nagging little pain that's coming up because I'm starting my taper. So I'm cutting down my mileage and not doing as much lifting or like any lifting at all. I am just trying not to overthink that this leg thing is like a huge injury or something. I'm trying to make a list right now of everything I need to do before race day. So like getting gels, making sure my race day fit looks good, thinking about different partnerships I have to do, thinking about shakeouts, logistics for Henry because he's going to be carrying stuff for me throughout the race, looking at the start line. That I'm not freaking out the week before the race and I have a lot of time to like check all those boxes. The week after the marathon, my family's coming out here and we're gonna go around London a little bit, and then we're gonna go on a trip to Spain because, you know, they figured while they're over in Europe, why not see a different country as well? So they're gonna have a few days in London. We're all gonna go to Spain together and then come back to London. But yeah, it's weird. It's spring. It's weird the race is coming up, but once again, I feel like I'm ready for it. Monday, and I am 13 days away from running the London Marathon. A little bit of pain in my body today, so I decided to opt in for a bike ride versus running, just to not have impact on my knee because I've had like this weird knee pain. I've been rehabbing it. I took a few days off running. It's nothing I'm concerned about. It's just a result of tapering where little things pop up and it kind of freaks you out about the race. Paying attention to it, but I'm not gonna let it freak me out. Walking to go run some errands right now, picking up some purses that I dropped off, and then I'm gonna get some apartment stuff that we need. We picked up some plants at the farmer's market yesterday, place. We need to get like little plant holders. Gonna try to find a new book. I have been reading the book for this video, which is all about grief, and it's a very like personal book. It's talking about her experience of losing her friend and also experiencing this like robbery in her house at the same time. Very interesting portrait of grief. It's not really trying to teach you anything. It's just a woman simply writing about her experience like grieving. And I think grief is very messy, so the book feels like it's showing all the different sides of grief and kind of the messiness of it. Posting a video of like all the shops that I went to in Amsterdam, so I'll post it on TikTok and Instagram if you want to see that. Okay, I love walking by this little Hackney City farm because you'll see there's some ducks over there, some sheep over here, 2 donkeys. Like this is right in the middle of the city. How's work? I just finished the book for this video that's called Grief is for People. I've gotten recommended this a ton. I think after my dad died initially, I read a lot of books about grief. Definitely way too early in the process for me to be reading about grief. I think the week after my dad died, I read Joan Didion's Year of Magical Thinking, which you will see on lists of like books that are recommended to read about grief. I don't think I could appreciate the book because I was just depressed and going through it. Just scanning through the pages, very numb and not really like grasping the book. The book is talking about the author's experience losing her friend to suicide. Trigger warning, talking about suicide. I've not had that experience of losing someone to suicide, and I think you can read this book even if you haven't had that exact experience. The themes of grief are just very universal. And the author has this burglary happen in her apartment, and then later in the book she talks about how one of her closest friends and coworkers commit suicide kind of out of the blue, and so she kind of goes back between those 2 stories, talking about her friend, talking about the burglary and how they impact her. I think the writing is really good to talk about the messy parts of grief, of like, you don't know what's going to trigger you, you don't know how long it's going to take, you don't know how the stages of grief are really going to hit you. It emphasizes that grief is this never-ending experience, and I think once you make peace with the fact that you're going to grieve for the rest of your life, it gets a little bit easier. I think if you're expecting yourself to like be better or be fixed or I don't know, be resolved from your grief, like that's never gonna happen. And I think once I started to accept that about my dad, that like, yes, I'm gonna think about him a lot, I'm gonna think about him for the rest of my life and kind of recount those memories and replay some stuff and try to remember his voice, like that is a very common thing with grief. So I'm like 12 days out from running the London Marathon, so this upcoming week is gonna be a lot of prep, a lot of rest, a lot of food, and I'm excited to take you guys along for it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will talk to you in next week's vlog.